I was watching a tarot person the other day, and she was talking, and then all of a sudden she's like, oh my God, I have a coughing fit, and she had to turn it off and cough. So I know I'm not the only one. And she said it's just that it's so dry. And I don't know, it could be super dry in here, because usually it's super moist, but I got so much heat going in here because it's so cold outside. It probably is super dry. And maybe it is just when you're talking, as it starts all of a sudden, it feels like it feels like there's just scratching or something against your throat. I don't know. It's just a lot of sensations. Like it feels like you just have to cough. So, oh, and I already got my first strike on TikTok. Already, it hadn't even been a fucking week, and I already got my first strike. And they are saying, and I already showed those little herb cigarette things. I showed those on here, and I always push for, if people want to get off the pharmaceuticals, because there's so much chemicals, and it's hard on your body, and people just don't realize how much their body's affected by it. I do, because I went through, I got super, super sick from the medicine, the pills. So, I found out the hard way. But, yeah, so I did one on there to show those. And immediately they gave me a strike, and they said if I would get banned permanently. Well, I've already been banned permanently once. I don't even know how I'm on there again. So it's just, my days are probably numbered, because no matter what, I will say something that they don't like. Before it was talking about aliens and time travel. Got me so paranoid, I wouldn't even say the words. I'm like holding up signs, because I was like, what the hell? Why? And, I would tell other people, and they're, my kids especially, they're just like, oh, you're talking about something else. Yeah, there's a reason why you're getting taken down. I'm like, the videos that were getting strikes, I know what they were about. The last one where I got taken down, it was initiation, when I was just filming the show. I didn't have anything else that I had put on there except that. And then my whole channel was striked and taken down. But before that, it was all just stuff about Looking Glass, or them messing with our, the whole reason why we're having these Mandela effects and stuff like that, and how they're messing with our timelines and stuff by using their, advanced technology. And so, yeah, that got me taken down before. And then when I've said it, people are like, well, other people talk about that. And it's like, yeah, why can't I? Why is there anything? I see people all day long on fucking TikTok, talking about, oh, yeah, I smoke weed. Maybe it's because I showed the package, but it was because there's not very many places that I know of that there probably, if you go on and you Google hemp products, I know that there's a huge movement. And one day I was driving, after I got split up, and I didn't drive for a while. I wasn't supposed to drive. I'm not even supposed to drive. But I know that about driving in the city. I know it's too much. But when I'm, driving out here, it's just a rural highway. So I don't know. I don't feel like I'm a danger to anybody. But yeah, I know that I get, mixed up in the city when there's like, people going and lights turning and stuff. And I'll be like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? And then especially if I have someone in the car yelling at me, oh my God, what are you doing? It's like, you're supposed to go. It's like, okay. But anyways, back when I was on my own, because I had always been in relationships. So when I was very first on my own, which, I wish I would have done it sooner, but I just didn't know how great it was to go and be on your own and to learn about yourself and stuff. Yourself just expands. Like it's way different than being with someone. Even if you're trying to spiritually grow with someone, I don't know. I tried to be in relationships where I thought that people were spiritual and that they were on, the same as me, but We just all have different ways we look at things, and it's all about vibration and alignment. I know it is. And but then when I was back then, I would ride my bike everywhere. There was a point where I even got a wagon. I would take the wagon to the store and put food in it and come back. Then I would take the bus or take Ubers everywhere. But that's also when I lived in the city. You can't get an Uber out here. And riding my bike, it's a state highway. I see a couple people riding theirs. It's just like, fuck, that's dangerous. I mean, they don't even have a side thing. It's just like a little, if you saw it, it'd be like, fuck, I wouldn't ride a bike. And it's all these turns and people are going fast as fuck. Yeah, it seems so dangerous. And it's 30 miles to town. So there's other places along the way, but still, I don't know. It seems nutty to me. So yeah, I'm not riding my bike here like that. But when I was living in the city, yeah, the bus, but I do have a bus that goes right by my house. It takes 2 hours to go a half-hour drive. But when I lived in the city, though, and I could just take the bus, like the buses just ran all the time, and you know, you just walk out, get on the bus, and go down to where you want to go, and you catch the bus and go home. I took the bus everywhere, and but like certain times I would take an Uber, and this guy that I met who was my driver this one time, and he started telling me about hemp, and that he was doing some whole thing, a market. It was all hemp products and stuff, and he started giving me all the history, and then I've learned more about it since, and I found out, you know, the stuff he was saying was right, but it was, you know, J.P. Morgan, Chase Bank, who was taking down, the Rockefellers and J.P. Morgan seem to be a real problem, like the Frauji. Like, there's certain people who have just been a real toxic to our life. And J.P. Morgan, you know, he is the one who took down Tesla. You know, Tesla was putting up the towers and stuff, and he was going to put in free energy. And then when he found out about that, he pulled the funding so that Tesla couldn't. And then turned the towers he was making into something else. I don't remember. You'd have to look it up. But anyways, you know, that's part of JP Morgan also, because he had started, I think it was like the New York Times or Wall Street Journal or something, some kind of paper. And he wanted to, you know, he was selling his paper and he was using paper. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like when we get packages and it's just full of packing and stuff, it's because this is how they make their money. They force this stuff on us. So JP Morgan was wanting, he wanted to use paper because he was making money off the paper. And I may have some things confused in the story. You can look it up for all the actual facts, because remember, I have a brain injury. So I'm not the best on facts. I can understand things, but when I repeat facts, I sometimes get them mixed up. Even words, I'll say the wrong word. So it was something about that he wanted to keep the money, and the hemp products were really cheap, and they were a lot more sustainable. Like, it was easy to produce, it didn't take much and stuff. But it wasn't what he had put his money into, because, you know, that's how they all are with the Wall Street and stuff. Like, they're all about making themselves money. They're not about the planet. They're not about us. They're not about anything but making their own money. Which it just is, you can see, like, how crazy are you? How much money do you need? How many people can you walk past starving and feel good? I'm like, what? It blows my mind, these money hoarders. So, and it's all about power, greed, and, you know, it's a hierarchy. So, yeah, that's when they decided to they did the whole thing to turn weed into a drug. They had to turn the pot into, marijuana into a drug. And that's when they started the whole thing. What was it called? It was a movie. It was a little movie thing that they put out, and they made like all of the people who smoked pot were a bunch of drug addicts. Reefer Madness. You can look up about Reefer Madness. So it was a propaganda to get people to think, oh my God, they're all a bunch of drug addicts, you know? Oh my God. And, you know, I mean, the Indians have been having it in their pipes since the beginning of time. So, you know, I mean, it's a plant. People have been used before the corporations took over, like the Rockefellers started directing us on the medical because they want to make money. So that's why they turned it into Western medicine, and that's why we're different than Eastern medicine, and that's why we don't use as much with the supplements, you know, and there's been more movement towards that, but there's a lot of, I mean, what are our commercials? Every fucking commercial, the goddamn drug commercial. You don't see them all about like supplements and how to be healthy. No, you see people whining and crying about how depressed and, oh, and I put a lot of chemicals all over my face. And I started when I was 20 and I just, yeah, they're pushing an agenda, propaganda on us all the time. But that's when they started the reefer madness and why hemp products can be used and stuff. And so it was a long drive that this guy was just, it was so much information he was giving me. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. I've gotten in the car with a textbook. So I love learning about stuff. Like I said, I'm always one of those people who listen to everything that everybody has to say, you know, and I'll go look it up and I can feel inside myself what resonates or doesn't resonate. I can go look it up and see how actual or factual something is. And, yeah, everything that I've seen, it definitely has all been manipulation. And the Western medicine has been the same thing. Rockefeller, I don't remember, you can look it up. It was something back where he thought, well, I could make money. Just, I swear to God, just like the packing materials. Oh, yeah, we could send things to people and we'll, you know, if we own the stuff that puts the packing materials, look how rich we get. So we make them put packing materials. That's how they work. And they, but the Rockefeller thing, so whatever it was, his agenda was, which I can't remember, but that's why he started having medical schools and stuff, so he could push the direction he wanted it pushed. You know, it could be how he wanted it to be. The information and how to take care of us and what to tell us and what we would need and stuff. And that's how the whole play in with Big Pharma and how it is all connected and how it always goes back to these fucking same people. These same motherfucking people, how you hear these names over and over and over. And they're all a bunch of incest people. They all, you know, just marry each other. They're all married to their damn cousins. Or probably some married to their damn brothers. These people are just... they think that they're the pure bloodlines. And that's why, you know, a long time ago when you used to hear about royalty and that they would only marry in their own little, you know, their interbreeding kind of situation, which is so fascinating too, is when I was hearing about that one guy, you know, who's made claim to the crown in England. And he has gone before the courts. He's brought all his lineage papers and everything. But the stuff he has told about this royal family, like, those people aren't all incest. They're just, you know, the maid's kid, the butler's kid. I mean, they're just, and it may be possibly because some of them can't have kids anymore. I mean, there's a lot of lizard people. And like I said, wouldn't it be interesting if we did have a real, more, what it would be the word, more defined. I'm thinking about like when people can notice certain things about wine, like a defined taste or whatever, like a defined sense of smell, so that we could notice when these other creatures come up. I think that we probably could. I've heard that, you know, that you can smell them. So I don't know, but some people are just so caught off from everything. And also with all the perfumes and stuff that people have on, I swear to God, I think it's to mask that. I think it's to mask it so that we can't use that sense, because we are animals and we do have a natural sense of smell. And it does guide us. Ooh, speaking of that, this morning I was just sitting here and this beautiful, I don't even know, it was like angelic. this beautiful smell came into the room. And it was just like, oh, I just had to stop everything I was doing and just completely absorb into the smell. And that was the only thing I got from it was like this angelic high frequency kind of being or something. But oh my gosh, the smell was so, oh my gosh, it was lovely. And oh, when I was living in the one haunted house too, like if you are more, I think it's Claire, I don't know, there's all these Claires. I think I have all the different Claires, but if you have the one with the smell thing. So when I was living at the house, where I've lived in some houses where some of the ghosts are, you know, I don't know if I would call them angry, confused or whatever, but the one where the lady, and she just did not like me. And I got really super sick in that house. And then I found out I was sick with what had killed her. Well, I don't know if it was the exact same thing. She died from a lung infection, and that's what I got when I was there. And so, you know, she would just shut the door between me and my husband all the time. It was weird. It was so weird. But you could smell when she came into the room. And I've always been able to smell when my grandma comes around. She used to come around a lot more when I had a lot more problems. You know, she would come and I would smell her and I would know that she was with me. But that lady had a particular smell. And you could smell when she came in. You could sense too. You could feel like when she was in the room. What else was I going to say about that? I feel like I'm really skipping around. But I don't know. That's what I do. I can't just be all like, I can't be what I'm not. I got to be what I am. You know, that's what we all need to be. Just what I am. Be who you are. You know, I've never been somebody who would just go in and talk about one thing and only stay on that subject. I've always bouncing around and putting things together and stuff. And, you know, I am a lot for a lot of people. You know, but I'm me. And I can accept me, and, you know, that's all I can do. So, what else was I going to say? It was something with the ghosts and the smells. But that smell this morning, oh my gosh, that was really, really nice. Like, it smelled so like a flower garden or something. But it wasn't, it was like air and flower. I don't even know how to explain it. It was really, really nice. And, anyways, I don't even know what else I was going to talk about. So maybe I'll be back in a minute. Okay, have a great day.